Hello!
And welcome
to Nightmare Nation!
The paranormal-themed podcast where we talk about haunted places around the world.
And scary things.
And demons.
And ghosts.
And murders.
And witches.
And cults.
And seances.
And graveyards.
And serial killers.
Sometimes.
Yep.
Every once in a while.
Uh-huh.
That was a good one.
We had a nice little...
Got a run going there.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that was pretty
Gosh.
good. Hey, I'm Annie.
Hey, what's up? I'm Anna.
Whoa, that
Hey-yo.
might be the earliest we've actually remembered to introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
That was like
except for
20
like
seconds.
Probably the first episode ever.
Yeah, but we were so awkward and
Yeah.
nervous that I don't even want to think about that episode.
We just put that behind us. It's fine.
Yeah, we've come such a long way.
We really have.
And we hope you've enjoyed this journey with us. It's a new year, new season of Nightmare Nation. We got some great stuff coming.
We're ready for it. It's
ready for it.
2021. We're ready to kick some ass. We're ready to give you some cool places, maybe some fun specials.
Yeah.
You know?
If you
just the stuff.
If you want to hear other cool specials, like we've done our cult special and our serial killer special, if there's other fun, dark, scary related topic that you want to hear us talk about, tell us.
Heck yeah.
Let us
know.
We're not exclusively talking about haunted places here. That's our like bread and butter, but every once in a while you like throw some extra pizzazz in.
Heck yeah.
With some other
Just
stuff.
like putting some cinnamon sugar on top of your just plain buttered bread.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or maybe having a little fried egg on your toast.
Yep.
A little dash of hot sauce instead of just regular toast. I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's what we're here to give you.
Yes.
And provide you guys.
Yes.
We also have a visitor today with us.
Oliver's here.
My lover is sitting on my lap right now, and I'm super uncomfortable.
He's probably going to be a shithead at some point during the recording.
He probably will.
Yeah.
Because he's really good at jumping up onto doors.
It's Anna's cat, by the way.
Yeah, it's my cat.
Yeah.
And smacking door handles because he knows how to open doors.
He's smart.
With the door handles, so we had to let him in.
Yep.
And now he's just chilling on my lap.
Yeah, you just stay right there, buddy. Oh my god, I have to tell you.
Tell me.
About the movie that Anders and I watched last night while I was sitting in pain trying not to die. I've been having severe back pain, friends, so if I sound a little less enthusiastic today than normal, that is why.
She just hurts.
Hurts.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. But we watched this movie called House of Bones.
Oh, God.
I can't wait to watch it with you.
Oh, perfect.
I'm going to make you watch it with me. You don't have a choice because it was so funny. If you enjoyed 12-12-12 about the demon baby.
It was the best movie ever.
It's the best, worst horror movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Y'all need to go fucking watch it because it's absolutely
so
ridiculous. I
Oh
can't even.
It was so good.
God.
But House of Bones has, I think, probably some of the best horror movie kill scenes I've ever seen. We were like crying. We were laughing so hard. Remember when I showed you that scene from that movie, Most Likely to Die, where he took the graduation cap and freaking flung it like a frisbee and decapitated someone? It's like that level.
Oh, perfect.
It's so good.
Sounds great.
It's so good.
Gosh. The amount of terrible movies we watched on New Year's Eve, you guys, was great.
That's like my idea of a perfect night is like cocktails and bad horror movies.
Yep.
So fun.
It's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
So if you guys want terrible movies, you got 12-12-12.
And House of Bones.
And House of Bones.
Pretty great.
We tried to watch 11-11-11.
Yeah,
and
that
then
was
we
not
turned
as
it off.
good.
No.
It was like one of those ones where it's not quite as bad so that it's funny, but it's also just really bad.
Yep.
So it's just like boring bad. And we don't want that.
No.
I can't wait for the slew of horror movies that was supposed to come out last year to come out this year, like A Quiet Place 2 and The Conjuring 3 and...
Isn't there something else?
I think they're making another
sequel.
They're making another Purge movie, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
I feel like there's... What?
Those ones went downhill. The first one was awesome. I didn't really like any of the following ones.
No.
They were dumb.
Yeah. They did it like backwards, didn't they?
Yeah, and they did like the first Purge, and then they had this like Purge election year thing with just like, it was just like an action movie. It had no horror elements to it at all. It was just purely action.
Yep.
So I don't know how I feel about that, but they made a Purge TV show too, didn't they?
Did they?
I'm pretty sure they made a TV series about it.
Oh.
Like, you guys, you're kind of beating a dead horse here.
Right? It was cool when it first came out, but there's only so much you can do with it.
Because the concept was unique, but then once you've explored that concept one or two or three or four times, there's only so much you can do with it, I feel like. Just like the first couple of seasons of The Walking Dead were interesting, and then after that, it's just more of the same.
It is.
There's zombies, and you're trying to survive, and then there's more zombies, and you're still trying to survive.
It gets a little bit more intense as you go on.
Okay, I never made it past season 3.
Yeah, it gets different.
Okay.
Because then you start having battles between people, and then this guy Negan who comes in and you want to fucking bust his goddamn fucking face in because he's just an asshole.
His name is Negan.
Negan.
That is the dumbest fucking name I've ever heard in my entire life.
And he is a fucking dickwad.
I'm really sorry if any of our listeners are named Negan. I did not mean you. I only mean the character has
the
a dumb
guy
name.
from Walking Dead.
Your name is awesome. The other Negan sucks.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Okay.
I mean, he is a dick.
So yeah, that's what we have been watching is just a couple more bad horror movies. I really am excited for some actual quality ones to come out this year. Blumhouse, let's bring it. I'm ready.
Seriously.
I'm ready.
Lego.
We've
been watching Parks and Rec.
That's what I watched yesterday when I was laying in bed and completely immobile. I was like, I'm just gonna put on something happy.
It's just so great. It's so funny.
I love that show so much.
Gosh.
It's the best.
We are going to be eating Peacock because they have all the extended cut episodes of The Office.
I didn't even know those existed. I didn't know that was a thing.
I think they just launched when The Office went on to Peacock.
Oh, sweet.
So I think there's like 22 or 23 episodes with extended cuts.
Sweet.
I'm so excited.
Marathon.
I told Ben, I was like, so now you don't know all of the words to every episode because now we have extended cuts. So
you can't recite them word for word.
Exactly. Sucks to suck.
Oh, I forgot to ask you, too, the other thing that we just started rewatching. Have you ever seen The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina? Have we talked about this?
I feel like we have, but I haven't watched it.
Okay, it's on Netflix, and if you're looking for something kind of just like dark but not scary, I would highly recommend it.
Okay.
At times it gets a little preachy with like liberal women's rights and blah 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 and all that stuff. So it's sometimes like feels like you're getting like hit over the head with like a liberal agenda hammer, but all in all, the acting is really good, and it's super just like dark and creepy. Like there's a ton of reviews online. Everyone was all pissed because they're like, I grew up watching Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and it was so like cute, and this is so evil. I'm like, yeah, that's because it's actually based on the like original source material. Sabrina the Teenage Witch is not
happy-go-lucky.
No, like the original like comic is very dark and the show is very dark. So if you're looking for something that's like a slight break from just like horror movie,
okay.
The 4th season just came out, so we started rewatching it, and it reminded me how much I love that show.
I'll have to watch it because I think it was the first thing that like pops up on your Netflix, or at least it is on mine.
Yeah, because
like,
the new season just came out, so it's highlighted. But
sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay,
pretty good
to watch it.
Well, shall we?
Well, we shall.
Where are we going?
We're going to Louisiana again.
To the Myrtles
Plantation. I feel like I've talked about this before, but plantations are just so, I feel bad saying this, but fascinating. Like, just the history behind it and, like, seeing these houses and knowing the horrible things that people had to go through. Like, I
feel like you can still find the subject material interesting to study and not like the history. You know what I mean? Like there's a separation between like liking what happened there versus just finding it a really fascinating subject to talk about, which it is in my opinion. And like hopefully no one's offended by that. But there's just like there's a lot of shit that happens in these places and it's important to like talk about it to some extent. And
absolutely,
it is fascinating because there is so much history and it's so unique to that like part of the country.
Right.
You don't find plantations anywhere else, obviously, because of climate things. So you can't exactly have a plantation in, like, Arizona, but...
Yeah.
It's exciting.
It's so exciting. And it's beautiful.
Oh, it's so
my gosh.
Gorgeous.
This house is...
I know. It's gorgeous. So funny, because, like, I feel like you have kind of two extremes. You have either these, like, rundown, ramshackle piece of shit, like, sketchy white paint, like, little crap hole houses that are haunted, or you have, like... stunning, beautiful hotel, like Victorian Gothic or like beautiful plantation. There's no just like happy medium.
No. It's never just an ordinary house that's haunted.
No. No. Like no house in the burbs is randomly like haunted. It's just like either crappy or like stunning.
Yep.
And this one falls in the stunning category.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
So let's talk about some history.
Let's do it.
My sources were Wikipedia. Got all of it from Wiki, pretty much a straight copy paste.
Nice.
So I had to work real hard.
I actually found some haunting stuff on Wikipedia.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It was at the very bottom. I remember seeing that, and I purposely did not write it down so that you can have the honors.
Oh, you're so nice.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
I know.
Gosh, you're such a nice friend.
I know. I try. It's always cool. You know a place is haunted as shit when Wikipedia mentions the fact that it has a reputation for being haunted and talks about some of the specific hauntings.
Mm-hmm. That's when you know it's a good place and you're actually going to find some good shit.
It's going to be real good.
Yeah.
So,
tell me.
The Myrtles Plantation is a historic home and former antebellum plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana, United States. In case you weren't sure,
We're
it's
in the
United
U.S.,
States.
friends. Staying here.
Yep. It is often touted as one of America's most haunted homes and is also listed on the National Register of Historic Places, just like 95% of the other places we talk about.
It's the most haunted.
The most haunted.
Uh-huh.
The Myrtles Plantation was built in 1796 by General David Bradford on 600 acres, which is roughly a square mile, and was named Laurel Grove at first.
Oh.
So, the plantation is sited on a hill, and the home was built in the Creole cottage style that characterized many Louisiana plantation houses in the 19th century. I don't really know what that means.
Sounds fancy.
Doesn't really look like a cottage to me.
No, not at all.
But just picture stereotypical southern plantation home.
Yes.
It's pretty similar.
It's shorter.
Yeah.
Because, like, when I think of a plantation, I think of, like, 2 or 3 stories, but this one is pretty... It's pretty flat.
Flat. Yeah, it's got 2 floors, but not 3... Yes, 2.
Yeah.
2 is less than 3. Yes, okay. Glad we established that. It also features a clapboard exterior. So
a clapboard
is
that?
type of wood paneling on the outside of the house, also known as bevel siding.
Okay.
I did some Googling.
Good, because you probably knew I was going to ask you what the fuck that was.
There's about 900 architectural terms here, and I Googled some of them, but not all of them, so you're just going to have to, do your own exploration to figure out exactly what all of this means.
As per every other episode when we've talked about architecture and we don't know what it is.
As per our usual style.
You need to Google some things. We can't give it all to you.
Help those who help themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the entry doors are surrounded with a transom, which is a, quote, transverse horizontal structural beam or bar, often separating a door from a window above it. So picture like a front door and then, the little like half circle kind of glass things. Yep. So it's... I guess the transom is like the beam that separates the window from the door.
Oh.
As far as I can tell, that might be wrong.
That's fancy.
But yeah, so it's pretty because they have this little like window above the door. And they also have side lights showcasing original hand-painted stained glass etched and patterned after the French cross to allegedly ward off evil.
Well, how's that working out for you guys?
Not great.
Y'all got some fucking evil in that plantation.
Yeah, your etching was not successful. So.
Good try.
I mean, it's the thought that counts.
Yeah, A for effort, friends.
Yeah. The Myrtles has 22 rooms spread over 2 floors. The spacious entry hall runs the length of the house and features a French baccarat crystal chandelier weighing more than 300 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
That is huge.
How expensive is that thing?
Probably quite expensive.
Holy balls.
300 pounds of crystal. I know.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Could you imagine having to install that?
Can you imagine that, like, falling off of your ceiling?
You'd be dead.
You'd be freaking dead.
Just get crushed.
That happens in one of the Paranormal Activity movies. The chandelier, like, falls off of the ceiling and almost kills the girl.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's all I can picture.
Just don't stand under a chandelier, friends.
Never. Just always skirt the area. Yes. So the entry hall also features a cantilevered staircase. That was one of the ones I did not Google.
Okay.
So I don't know.
That sounds even more fancy.
It's a real fancy staircase.
Yeah.
To this day, the flooring and most of the windows in the house are original, which I think is cool because it's freaking 300 years old. So that's awesome. The walls of the original house were removed and repositioned to create 4 large rooms that were used as identical ladies' and gentlemen's parlors, a formal dining room, and a game room. The 2 parlors feature Carrara. There's lots of R's in that word. Marble mantles in the Rococo revival style.
Oh my gosh.
We're getting fancy.
I know none of what you are telling me.
I don't know.
Right now.
There's some marble shit.
All right.
And it's on some stuff.
Cool.
With elaborate plaster cornices. Cornices is a type of ornamental molding. So the little like wood stuff that's in like
like the corners.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And ceiling medallions.
Ooh, they got some medallions up there, huh?
Made from a mixture of clay, Spanish moss, and cattle hair.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
That sounds disgusting.
And no 2 of them are the same. They're all unique.
Oh.
Like snowflakes.
But they're on your ceiling.
Yep.
Made with cattle hair.
And moss.
So I feel like, would that smell?
Maybe it like cures and dries up and kind of doesn't really smell. Maybe
it acts like fiberglass.
Yeah.
Because fiberglass is all stringy and stuff. So maybe like the hair makes it stringy and like connects the clay together.
It's a binding agent.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we know what we're talking about.
I went to architectural school.
Yep, that's what it's called.
Yep, it is.
Architectural school.
That's what I did.
Yep. Me too.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. That's why we know so much about this.
Right. Yeah, so there's a lot of shit going on in that room.
Yep.
I hope you enjoyed that.
Everything.
Are you ready for the second floor?
Oh, give it to me.
The second floor features 5 bedrooms with ensuite bathrooms. The largest bedroom, known as the Judge Clark Woodruff Suite, is the only room that is accessed by the main staircase in the entry hall. Oh. The floor of the remaining 4 bedrooms were raised 1 foot when the house was renovated, as the addition had higher ceilings than the original house. So that makes me think of, and I can't remember what place it was, but there was one place we talked about where the ghost was always cut off, like at the knee, because they raised the floor.
Yeah, was that the Winchester house?
Yeah, that was my first thought, was the Winchester house, but then I was second guessing myself.
I don't remember, but I remember you talking about that.
Yeah.
But I think it might have been the Winchester house.
Okay.
We'll just go with that.
If you guys remember, tell us.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember.
Because our memory isn't good.
Nope. All right. So now for just a little bit more history, and I'll try to kind of breeze through some of this because it's a lot of this person owned it, and then this person owned it. And
that's what I saw, too.
All that fun stuff.
When going through some of the articles, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I tried to abbreviate slightly. So, General Bradford lived alone at the plantation for several years after it was built until President John Adams pardoned him for his role in the Pennsylvania Whiskey Rebellion in 1799.
Oh.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds fun because there's whiskey involved.
Heck yeah.
He then moved his wife Elizabeth and their 5 children to the plantation from Pennsylvania. Upon his death in 1808, his widow Elizabeth continued running the plantation until about 10 years later when she handed the management to Clark Woodruff, one of Bradford's former law students. So he was the one that the suite is named after. Okay. Clark Woodruff, yep. What's his face? The Woodruffs had 3 children, but unfortunately, his wife and 2 of their 3 children died in 1823 and 1824 of yellow fever.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have a conflicting story.
Do you?
I do.
Interesting. Okay. Well, this came from Wikipedia, so it has to be accurate, obviously.
But with a lot of the stuff I found, too, there is not a lot of records of
hard
what
evidence
people have told about these. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay.
So I'll tell you.
All right. I'm excited for it. So, when Elizabeth Bradford died in 1831, Clark Woodruff and his surviving daughter moved to Covington, Louisiana, and left a caretaker to manage the plantation. In 1834, Woodruff sold it and the land and all of its slaves to a man named Ruffin Gray Sterling.
Wait, maybe... Never mind.
Are you thinking about a murder that happened?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's coming later.
Keep going.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
We'll figure it out.
All right. First of all, the guy's name is Ruffin, which I just think is really cute and cool. Ruffin.
That That's adorable.
Little Ruff Ruff.
Little Ruff Ruff.
I just love that name, and I kind of want to get a puppy and name it Ruffin.
That would be so cute.
Yep. So Ruffin Gray Sterling and his wife undertook an extensive remodeling of the house after acquiring it, nearly doubling the size of the former building and filling the house with imported furniture from Europe. It was during this time that the name was officially changed to the Myrtles after the crepe myrtles that grew in the vicinity. So those are essentially like really flowering trees that kind of look like lilac bushes. They're really pretty. So I guess they're called crepe myrtles, which is what the plantation was named after. So,
all right.
Sterling died in 1854 and left the plantation to his wife. So, the plantation itself survived the American Civil War, but it was robbed of its fine furnishings and expensive accessories. So, it got kind of like ransacked during all the commotion. In 1865, Sterling's wife, Mary Cobb Sterling, hired William Drew Winter to help manage the plantation as her lawyer and agent. Winter was married to Sterling's daughter, Sarah, and they went on to have 6 children.
Jesus.
That's a lot.
No, thank you.
But one of them died of typhoid. So it was in the day and age when you just had lots of kids because most of them were going to die at some point in their childhood, unfortunately. So unfortunately, the family lost their fortune in the aftermath of the Civil War due to their fortune being tied up in the Confederate currency, which I never even thought about. So they had like Confederate money, which wasn't worth anything after the war was over, I guess. And they were forced to sell the plantation in 1868, but they somehow were able to buy it back 2 years later.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. In 1871, William Winter was killed on the porch of the house, possibly by a man named E.S. Weber. So they don't know for a fact who did it, and I don't know exactly how he died, but that's the only, like, confirmed murder that has been, like, truly confirmed. I think there's rumors of an additional, like, 9 people that may have died there.
Yep.
But I think those are maybe the ones you were talking about where it's not quite certain if that's factual.
Yeah, I have, I think, 2 different ones that are potential, but there was no facts as to what actually happened or if anything happened.
Okay. Well, and so a couple other people like owned the plantation and lived there for a while until they died too. So they possibly died in the mansion.
Right.
So that would also contribute to like deaths. I'm not totally sure. The plantation essentially changed hands several times up until 1891 when it was purchased by Harrison Milton Williams. In the early part of the 20th century, the land surrounding the house was divided among heirs of Williams, and in the 1950s, the house itself was sold to Marjorie Munson, who apparently noticed odd things happening around the Myrtles, resulting in numerous ghost stories. So, dating back to the 50s, which is always exciting, when it's not just like in the last 10 years.
Right.
So the plantation went through several more ownership changes in the 70s before finally being bought by James and Frances Kermeen Myers, who ran the plantation as a bed and breakfast. During this time, they wrote a book about Myrtles Plantation, naming it as the most haunted house in America. The current owners are John and Tita Moss, and they continue to keep the house open for tours and overnight guests, functioning as a bed and breakfast.
That's cool.
Super sweet.
I want to go there.
Yeah, when the Rona's done,
heck yeah,
go check her out.
Love to go to Louisiana.
I know.
Fucking sweet.
We've talked about how excited we are to try Cajun food.
Yes.
Like legit Creole.
Cajun food, and there's just so much history down in Louisiana and just like all of the scary history.
Spooky too. And the voodoo and just the whole culture of it all. And
it's so interesting.
I know. It's amazing. I love it so much.
Gosh.
Let's go.
So, of course, the Myrtles Plantation is haunted.
What?
As they have said, it is one of America's most haunted homes. Can you believe it?
No, I can't.
Okay.
I've never heard that before.
Never, ever.
Never.
Nope. My sources are Wikipedia, myrtlesplantation.com, AmericanHauntingsInc.com/Myrtles. All that's interesting.com and countryliving.com.
That was so great. It's just like all about something to /Myrtles.
I felt like it was necessary.
Yeah.
So, did you know that the plantation house is rumored to be on top of an ancient Tunica Indian burial ground?
I did know that. I stumbled across that in my wiki article.
Yeah, that's what I read too.
I'm not familiar with that like tribe name though. What that is.
I didn't look it up.
Okay.
But it's possibly on top of an Indian burial ground.
Yes.
So you know with that always comes friggin' ghosts.
Yep. Every single time without fail. There's always at least stories of ghosts, if not confirmed proof of the paranormal. Just if there's a burial ground related, It's going to happen.
Yep.
I didn't freak out when I said burial.
I know, you did so good.
I just, like, glided right through it, and I didn't go, like, burial.
Because you weren't thinking about it.
No, it just came out. Okay.
Look at us go.
I'm so proud of myself.
I can do it. I can say my
words. Rural is another question.
That's just never going to happen.
Out the window.
It's fine.
Okay.
So the home is supposedly haunted by at least 12 ghosts.
That's a lot.
Uh-huh. And stories, like you have said that around 10 murders occurred in the house. But historical records only indicate the murder of William Winter.
Yep. Who got murdered on the front porch.
See, and then I got a conflicting story that he staggered into the house and died while trying to climb the steps.
Oh, that could be.
But
was he like shot or something?
Yes, he was shot.
Okay. So maybe they're loosely saying he was killed on the porch because he was shot on the porch and then crawled inside and then died shortly thereafter. I could see that.
Yeah, so that's the only confirmed one. There are a couple other ones that are iffy. There's no actual evidence, and I'll get into those ones.
Yeah, let's hear them anyway.
Yeah. But then in 2002, Unsolved Mysteries, which is one of my favorite shows.
I love BuzzFeed Unsolved Mysteries.
No. Oh. Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, okay,
it's a
sorry.
different one.
I was thinking of the BuzzFeed one, which I like because the guy's really funny.
This one, it used to play on Lifetime Network during the day.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen
and
that
now
before.
they have it on Netflix.
Right. That's exciting.
It's my favorite show.
Yes.
Ever. But so they filmed a segment about the alleged hauntings in the plantation, and during filming, the production crew experienced technical difficulties. They didn't say what kind of technical difficulties, but I'm assuming cameras were being wonky, batteries probably draining.
Probably.
The usual.
Things not turning on when they should be.
Yeah, exactly. So the 70s, which contradicts what you said, was around the time when the plantation got its reputation for being haunted and was purchased by the Myers family. So they probably started having ghosts in the 50s, and then it got more known in the 70s.
Could be.
I don't know.
Somewhere in the mid to late 1900s.
Yeah, something like that.
In that 30-year period.
Exactly.
Stuff's happening.
So guests would often report hearing strange noises, saw ghostly apparitions, and oftentimes seeing a young girl wearing a turban.
What?
Which brings me into the legend of Chloe and where the turban comes into.
Okay. That's literally the first time we've heard about anyone wearing a turban.
Ever.
It's just... Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah. So the legend of Chloe. Chloe was a slave at the plantation who murdered the wife and 2 daughters of Clark Woodruff in a fit of jealous anger. So this is where there isn't an actual, there's not actual reports of this happening.
Did I say they died of yellow fever?
Yes. This is the story that I was saying. I don't know.
Maybe she cursed them and made them sick in her fit of rage.
Maybe.
She's like, I'm gonna give you yellow fever, bitches, and cursed them.
So this story goes that she was forced to give sexual demands from Clark. Otherwise, if she did not comply, she would have to be sent out to the fields to work. And field work was always really just
terrible.
Poor work. You're working in ungodly heat, and it's just
for
awful.
Ungodly hours. Yeah, yes. Not good.
So she's working in the house, tending to the family and everything. So she wanted to stay there. So she just unfortunately complied to those demands. So Clark, tired of Chloe, and moved on to another girl to force himself onto. So Chloe feared after Clark moved on that he would send her back out into the fields to work. So she started eavesdropping on the Woodruffs' private conversations to see if her name ever came up or what they wanted to do with her. And unfortunately, she was caught one night by, I think it was one of the butlers or someone. And as punishment, her ear was cut off because she was listening in.
Oh, okay.
So Chloe decided to put a small amount of poison into a birthday cake that was made in honor of Woodruff's oldest daughter.
What did I tell you? She poisoned him and gave him yellow fever.
Yep. The 2 daughters and mom ate a slice of cake. Chloe tended to their needs as they all started to feel ill as the day went on. Chloe didn't realize that she put too much poison in the cake, and within a matter of hours, the 3 of them had died.
Okay.
So, because then later on in that same article, it was talking about how there was more reports of them actually dying of
yellow fever
instead of actually being poisoned.
That feels like one of those fun story legend things that's more interesting than the actual truth. Yep. Which I understand. It's always more fun to think about a girl like poisoning people in a birthday cake than just them getting sick and dying of natural causes. Yep. But yeah, you never know.
Yep. So the other slaves, perhaps afraid that their owner would punish them for the poisoning, dragged Chloe from her room and hanged her from a nearby tree.
Jesus Christ!
Yep. After she died, her body was cut down, weighted with rocks, and thrown into the river.
That doesn't make any sense, because if they killed her because they were scared they would be punished, how would that help? Because the slave owner could still go and be like,
right,
it could be any of you. Like, just because you killed her doesn't mean it wasn't one of you. Like, that, I'm not following that logic.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
And if the slaves are going to kill another slave, I feel like the slave owner would be mad, because then that's one less person.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure on
that one, but
that story. But Chloe has been reported at the Myrtles often. She is seen in her green turban, wandering the place at night. Sometimes cries of children accompany her appearances, and at other times, those who are sleeping are startled awake by her face, peering at them from the side of the bed.
Ew, don't do that, Chloe.
So she's just getting all up in their business.
Quit creeping.
Pretty much.
Knock it off.
So one cool thing, in 1992, the proprietress...
There's a female word for proprietor?
I guess so. Proprietress
cool.
Instead of a proprietor.
I like that.
Of the Myrtles, they photographed what appeared to be a slave girl standing between two of the buildings on the plantation. So the National Geographic Explorer filming crew determined the photo contained what appeared to be an apparition of what they believed to be a slave girl. Where she appeared in the breezeway between the general's store and the butler's pantry of the mansion. And it's a really cool picture.
When was that?
1992.
Okay.
So you can actually, when you see the figure, you can see the boards of the building behind the figure. So they're like transparent.
Cool.
Which is really cool.
We should find that picture and share it.
Yeah. It's actually, hold on.
Okay.
The National Geographic Explorer suggested that they use the photo for a postcard.
A postcard?
Which they did.
What? That is so cool.
So I will easily find the image.
Great.
I'll bring it up for you. Oh, I'll do it now.
It's kind of like the dead bride lady who got put on a postage stamp.
Yeah.
Except for they just drew that, I'm assuming. They didn't actually get a photo of her. Whoa, that is cool. That is super. You can see the lines. That almost looks like there's another person standing right there. It's probably part of the tree, but it almost looks like there's another head.
Oh, yeah, I see that right up there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is a super cool image.
Right?
I love it.
So neat. So, with that photo then, Mr. Norman Benoit, N-O-Y-T,
yeah.
Fucking
I
French.
don't know. I'm going with Benoit.
Benoit.
That's probably completely wrong.
I don't know.
Or Benoit.
I like Benoit.
Benoit.
He was a patent researchist. I don't know what the fuck that means.
I don't know.
I didn't look it up.
Dude.
But I think he's looks at photos and then
determines whether or not the technology's been patented.
Sure. Or changed or something.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Maybe.
Okay.
So Norman requested permission to research the postcard. After enlarging the postcard and doing a shadow density procedure, Mr. Benoit discovered that all of the physical measurements of the apparition were of human dimensions and proportions. The circumference of the head and the length of the shoulder to the elbow and the length of the elbow to the wrist were all indicative of a human.
This is the girl between the buildings.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's what I'm assuming he does is checks.
Determines authenticity of stuff. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Yep. You go, Benoit.
Right? Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
That'd be a fun job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the postcard is referred to as the Chloe postcard.
No way.
So fancy.
That's super original.
Right?
Yeah.
So another legend goes that 3 Union soldiers were killed in the house after they broke in and attempted to loot the place. They were allegedly shot to death in the gentleman's parlor, leaving bloodstains on the floor that refused to be wiped away. Years later, after the Myrtles was open as an inn, a maid was mopping the floor, and when she reached the spot where the bloodstains were, she, no matter how hard she tried, could not clean them up. The spot was the same size as a human body, and that was where the Union soldiers were said to have fallen. The phenomenon was said to have lasted for a month and has not occurred since.
That's odd.
Right?
It just shows up for a long-ass time and then just mysteriously vanishes one day and never comes back.
Yep. So, I also don't know if that story is true.
Who
That's
knows?
another one of those legends.
Is anything we talk about true? It's all just speculative.
It really is.
With varying degrees of authenticity.
Yes.
But, I mean, can really any of this be definitively proven?
No.
It's tough.
No.
It's tricky.
Aside from the one murder.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah. He was the only one that we know of. There was also a digital image that was taken at the plantation with a teacher and some of her students in the courtyard of the plantation. This is the picture of the little girl.
Oh, okay.
So in the background through the window, they caught an image of a little girl staring out the window, and she is referred to as the Ghost Girl.
Oh, wow.
They are really original with their names here.
Girl.
So the photo was actually sent to the Society of Psychical?
Yeah, I think we've come across that word before. Haven't we talked about the psychical research
Maybe
organization? That sounds familiar. I think that was like
fucking-
from 30 episodes ago or something.
Probably.
But
yeah, so the psychical research in England.
oh, cool.
They are, it was founded in 1982 and is the oldest and most prestigious paranormal research group in the world.
Yeah, we totally talked about them before.
Yeah.
But it was like a long time ago, but that we definitely talked about them.
So that's pretty cool.
Cool.
So after finding out what kind of camera was used, what the shutter speed was, focal length of the lens, all of the necessary things to look at when taking pictures to make sure the picture wasn't effed with, nothing unusual was discovered or reported about the photo, and it seems to be an apparition caught on camera.
That's cool. Well, that one's interesting, too, because the little ghost girl kind of looks like she's almost, like, lightly drawn in, like, chalk.
Yeah.
Almost, like, it's not your typical, like, black, shadowy blob or, like, a white blob or anything. She literally looks like a little, like, very lightly drawn, like, chalk drawing of a girl. It's really weird.
It's really...
I've never seen a ghost picture like that.
Right, because it's not like it could be your eyes playing a trick in the coloring.
You can see
like
the folds
back.
of her dress.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yep, it's really cool.
Cool.
There have also been many reports of children who are seen playing on the wide veranda, in the hallways, and in the rooms.
So many kids.
I know. A young girl with long curly hair and wearing an ankle-length dress has been seen floating outside the window of the game room, cupping her hands and trying to peer inside through the window.
All these kids creeping.
Seriously. The grand piano on the first floor plays by itself, usually repeating the same chords over and over again, and has played overnight.
No! Overnight? The whole night?
Yep, on and off throughout the night.
Oh,
just playing the same chords.
That's so cool. I want to be a ghost that plays the piano.
I'm gonna come into your house and play your piano at night.
Just as like loud as possible. Okay, great.
And then when anybody comes into the room to investigate, the music stops and will start again when they leave.
Of course it does, you dicks.
Yep.
Just want to watch you play.
Just want to hear the magical music. Some people claim to have seen young girls in old-style clothing in the windows, like I said. Others say that they have caught glimpses of Woodruff's children appearing in the mirror near the room where they died. Some people report seeing a spirit of a Native American woman in a gazebo on the property. Presumably, she is
on the property.
Is that what I said?
Yes.
Oh, on the property.
I knew what you meant. I just couldn't help it. Sorry.
I didn't even know I said it wrong.
It's okay.
Presumably, she is one of the people buried there long ago on the Indian burial ground.
Burial
She's
ground, burial mound.
Buried there.
She buried there, all right.
People have also experienced beds lifting and floating around the room.
The entire bed?
The entire bed.
No.
Yeah, I could see the bed lifting.
Yeah. floating around the room.
I don't think so.
You're
quit
probably
taking
on,
drugs
acid.
before bed.
Exactly. Floating around the room.
Yep. They also experience smelling perfume coming from unknown sources, distant sounds of babies crying, and parties happening.
Oh, fun.
We just got some partying ghosts.
I love ghost parties.
It sounds perfect. The Long Hot Summer was filmed at the plantation, and it was an experience the cast and crew would never forget. One day, the crew moved the furniture in the game room and dining room for filming, and then left for the day. When they returned, they reported that the furniture had all been moved back to its original position.
Ooh, don't you mess with the furniture arrangement.
Yep. And the ghosts did that multiple times throughout the shooting of the movie.
Creepy.
So they're just being little assholes.
Well, it's their house. They're like, get out. This is where we live.
Yeah.
And we like the furniture where it is, so quit messing with our shit.
Quit being assholes. Damn it. Employees, obviously, are the ones who experience the most of the paranormal stuff that goes on. One employee was hired to greet guests at the front gate each day. One day, while he was at work, a woman in white, old-fashioned dress walked through the gate without speaking to him. She strolled up to the house and vanished through the front door without ever opening it. The man quit his job and never came back.
Oh, no!
I would have said F that, too. Got the fuck out.
He didn't even wait to have a personal experience with a ghost inside the house. He's just nope, we're done.
Just done.
Oh, poor buddy.
I know.
Aww.
So in the 80s, the like you had said, it changed ownership to Francis and James. So this is Francis's story. Francis's. So on her second night in the house, she encountered one of the ghosts. In quotes, this is her saying this, I'd heard footsteps coming up the stairs and I didn't think anything of it, but I had left my light off and woke up and it was on, so I turned it off. Then the footsteps started up the stairs again. I figured it was one of the other guests, but then the doorknob started rattling. I called out and nobody answered. Francis told the podcast Mysterious Universe in 2015.
Ooh.
She thought someone was trying to enter her room, so she ran downstairs when she thought the coast was clear. This part I was a little confused about. It said that she tried to wake the owner, but no one answered.
Wasn't she the owner?
That's what I thought.
Was she the proprietress?
Maybe. So I don't know if they were changing ownership and the owner still lived there?
Maybe.
Or what exactly happened?
Yeah. Maybe? I don't know.
So no one answered when she tried to wake the owner.
Whoever that may be.
Whoever it was, yes. So she eventually fell asleep on the couch after taking a shot of brandy, it said.
Good coping mechanism.
Right?
Yep.
So then in the morning, she woke up feeling like someone was watching her. She saw a black lady standing over her wearing a green turban. Chloe's back.
Chloe's back, but a lady? Grown up lady?
Yeah.
Oh, it's an older version of Chloe.
No, Chloe's older.
Oh, you were saying girl. I was thinking a young girl.
Oh, no, I think she was older teenager.
17
adult.
or something.
Yeah.
Okay, I was picturing someone who was 12 or something.
Oh, no.
Got it.
No.
Okay.
No. So then after she saw the woman, she started to scream and reached out to touch her, but as her hand passed through, she faded away.
Chloe's creeping again.
She is.
She strikes back.
Yep. So, those are all the haunting stories.
That is so many.
There's so many.
That's a good location.
I know. And of course, ghost hunters and ghost adventurers have also had their little parties in the Myrtle Plantation as well.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's the Myrtles Plantation for you, friends.
The Myrtles.
Let's go there.
I want to go see some crepe myrtle trees.
Yes.
And
sounds
ghosts.
Perfect.
Great weekend.
Combination.
Yeah. And we can swing by New Orleans on the way home and have some delicious food.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're here, friends,
to
give you our next segment.
The best segment.
Craft Cocktail Cult segment.
Craft Cocktail Cult.
Okay, so we're not giving you a beverage, per se.
Well, technically you drink it.
Yes.
It's a beverage.
But you shoot it.
But it's not a cocktail.
No.
It's a shot.
It's a shot!
This is our... That was really aggressive.
I know.
This is the first time we've done a shot.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you like this recipe, let us know. Anna loves making random shots with random things.
Yeah, sometimes they turn out really good. Other times they just taste like fucking shit.
I'm not that picky, so to me, at worst, they're mediocre. I've never had one that I've truly hated, so...
The one I made on New Year's Eve wasn't good. That was the tequila. I did tequila, the elderflower.
Yeah.
I did cranberry juice, and I put some simple syrup in there, too, I think.
Yeah, it's an interesting combination of things.
It wasn't good.
I didn't care at that point, though. So.
Exactly. So this is fun because it's a flaming shot. Please make sure when you are making flaming shots or flaming drinks that your glasses are shatter resistant.
Yes.
And to make sure that they are heat
safe,
tempered glass.
You don't want exploding glass shots.
No, and if your glass explodes, it's not my fault because I warned you to make sure you had tempered glass. So this one doesn't have a name. I'm just gonna call it our flaming shot.
Flaming hell shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks really fucking cool.
It does look really cool, and it's kind of red, and then the flames are blue, so it reminds me of, like, the flames of hell, which fits with the theme of our podcast.
Yep. Okay, so in your shot glass, preferably use a tall shot glass, a shooter.
Yeah.
A shooter. You can use a shorter shot glass. I'm not going to give you specific measurements of them. You're just going to kind of pour until you fill your shot glass.
Guys, take everything you've learned from every other recipe we've done and use your best judgment as to what quantities of which you would like.
Exactly. So first you're going to pour in, you can use either pineapple juice or orange juice. I don't remember what we used in this one.
They'd both be good.
I don't have it in the picture. So either pineapple juice or orange juice. Pour it probably about a halfway up your glass if you're using a shooter, a little less if you're using a shot glass. Then you're going to pour grenadine over a spoon over the top of your shot glass. So you're going to put your spoon over the entry of your shot glass. Over the opening of your shot glass.
Or the entry.
And you're going to pour your grenadine over the top so that the grenadine sinks to the bottom so you get the layered look that we have in the shot. Pour a little bit in there.
Just a splash. You don't need a lot.
However much you want.
Yep, just a little bit.
And then you're going to pour tequila of your choice, up to probably about 3/4 of the way up the shot glass.
Yep.
As much as you want. And then you're going to top her off with some 151.
Bacardi.
Ayo.
It's real strong.
Super strong,
guys,
but that's how you get your fire.
Be careful with this one, guys.
Yes.
Don't take straight shots of it.
Please
don't. It will kill you.
Please don't. So this one, you're going to do this with the Bacardi. You want to make sure that you pour it over the spoon as well so that the Bacardi stays on the top of your glass so that you're able to light it.
And I never knew about this technique. Like, apparently pouring over a spoon does interesting things. The way you pour it. Like, I never have done that or thought about that before.
Yep. That's how you properly layer, because then it goes down the side of the glass.
Yeah.
So then it can...
It pools on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So make sure to use your spoon over the opening and pour your 151 on top. And then you're going to turn the lights off. And you're going to light her on fire.
Light her up.
And then you're going to get some cool fucking colors. It's going to be blue flames.
It's so cool, you guys. The picture she's going to post is amazing.
You can keep it on fire as long as you want. And then you blow it out. Please make sure to be careful when you blow it out so that you don't blow Bacardi onto your surface that's still on fire and then you start your house on fire.
Don't do that. Also, this goes without saying, but just in case, please do not drink this while it's on fire.
Yeah, don't do that. And please wait at least a minute after it has been on fire because the glass is still hot.
You don't want to burn yourself.
And you're going to burn yourself, and the alcohol is still fucking hot as shit.
There's still a lot of safety precautions with this drink.
So. There is. So please be careful
at your own risk
with making it. It's super fun. They look fucking awesome.
They do look cool.
151 will get you shit-faced real quick, so please be careful with the amount of 151 you put into your drink.
Yes.
Because there was one time Ben made me one, and I felt the 151 real quick.
Yeah.
After just one shot.
Yep.
So.
It's quite strong.
Yes, it is.
So.
And it smells disgusting.
It does.
So.
Can't say it tastes great either, but it makes for a fun shot.
Exactly.
So.
And when it's mixed with everything, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, try this out.
There it is.
Take a picture.
Yeah.
Show us your fancy concoction.
Please be careful.
Please be careful. Don't drink it while it's on fire.
Don't do that. Don't set your house on fire.
Nope.
Just be careful.
You know what else you shouldn't do?
What?
You shouldn't use a Ouija board.
Oh my god! Oh, I need to show you something!
Oh my god.
Oh shit! I totally forgot. Look at that! A fucking Ouija board rug! A Roomba.
What? No, guys, don't buy a Ouija board rug. Oh my god.
I saw it, I was like, oh no!
And then put a Roomba down and have it.
So don't use a Roomba and a Ouija board rug
because it's gonna walk over the different letters and spell evil for you.
Exactly.
That's funny.
So don't do that.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
So
friends, don't use a Ouija board. Don't do a seance.
Don't do it.
What you should do is tell us if you have any stories of paranormal things you've experienced.
Hell yeah.
If you've been to any of the places we've talked about, or if you've been to a haunted house and experienced something, we want to hear your personal stories.
Yeah, let us know.
Send them in.
Send them in to Nightmare Nation 19.
Yes.
Oh, God. Do we have a dot in there?
Shit.
Oh, you're always doing
No,
the
it's just nightmarenation19@gmail.com. We know our stuff.
NightmareNation19@gmail.com.
Instagram is nightmare.nation19.
That it is.
Facebook is nightmare_nation19.
You got it.
There it is.
They're there.
Interact with us. Join us. Talk to us.
We love talking to you guys.
We do.
It's my favorite.
Also, if you have any places you'd like to hear us talk about on the podcast, please let us know. We love suggestions. So
do it all. Let us know.
Let us know.
Until next time, friends.
Bye.
Bye.